Hello, my beautiful friends. I wanted to come on here and share a little more about what I've been talking about. So, over the last few weeks, and I didn't record last week, but I had inspiration to share, and I wasn't quite ready, didn't have the time. Obviously, I wasn't ready. There was things that needed to unfold between now and then, or then and now. Anyway, so I shared on my Facebook page the other day that there was something that hit me that I read that I wanted to share, and I will share with you my interpretation of it because, you know, everything that we receive from our own perspective. So whether it's a message, whether it's an insight, whether it's an aha moment, we receive that from our own perspective, our own filter of our life experiences. So it may not be exactly as the author, the book I'm going to share that I can't remember if I mentioned it on previous episodes, but I have two things that are really inspiring in my life right now or creating a thought of what I'm sharing. And so to give you an idea of what those two things are, and I know I shared on one of them at least, or one of them already, is this beautiful deck, Beyond Lemuria. When I read the beginning of the card, like the guidebook for this, it hit home so much for me, and and it inspiring a lot of what I'm talking about. And it was like when we hear something that resonates with us, that sits home with us, that's us hearing our truth. So when you're listening to other people that inspire you and you're like, oh my gosh, this feels good, that's because you're hearing truth and it is your truth. And so what somebody else may share may resonate with me, and something that they share may not resonate with you. And that's okay because each one of us has our own truth. And this is one thing I want to inspire, not so much inspire, as to give to you, is that it's not about everybody receiving the same message. And we sometimes get caught up in that, especially as leaders, those of us that are creating enlightened beings that are helping with the collective consciousness. We tend to get caught up in that. I want to share this and I want you to know this and I want you to be ready to receive it. But not everybody's ready to receive it at the same time because of our different filters and our own perspectives and our experiences. So sometimes we get caught up in the, oh my gosh, you need to know this, and they're not ready to receive it. The field is not ready to be received. You haven't cultivated it enough, which is totally okay. We just plant seeds, right? When you hear something, somebody sharing something, and for me, it feels like I heard this and I was ready to receive it. And I look back at the date that this was written, and it was like 2021 or 2022, I think, when the deck was written. And it's like, oh my gosh, this feels like perfectly brand new and exactly what we need right now in this moment, even though it was written then and it was in that person's awareness at that point. But as soon as I read it, I'm like, this is truth. And it resonated so deeply with me. It inspired this whole conversation over the last few weeks. So that's kind of what has been inspiring me. Another thing that I'm currently reading and what I read the other night that has truly hit me in a different way. And again, I don't know if it's specifically what the author intended, but the other thing I'm currently reading is Awaken Your Inner Fire, by Heather Ashamara. And she has it's been somebody that I've connected with in the past, because she does a warrior goddess training. And every time I see this pop up, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out what this is. I need to look into this. It's pulled me and I haven't actually done it. So, but this book actually was gifted to me months ago by a friend of mine who was clearing some things out of her library of books, and she offered me to come take a look at a few things. And this one pulled to me then, but I didn't touch it. And again, things don't show up until you're ready to receive them. So it came into my awareness then. The Warrior Guidance series came into my awareness years ago. I came across, but I didn't activate it and move towards it. And then again, this has been sitting on a bookshelf for me for months. And it wasn't until actually another book that I haven't touched yet, but the book itself caught my eye. And then it led me to this book, which is actually, if you relate both of these two items, um, what is being shared in the guidebook of the Beyond Lemuria deck, is I'm receiving a very similar message from this book and about your inner fire. And this is the first time I've heard somebody express it in this way. We talk about energy work, and I've shared a couple posts on my Facebook page around our energetic health. And this Heather Ash is the first person I've seen or felt share it in the way that made sense, in a way that had to hit me in the way that it did for me to share this. All of this over the last few weeks. Between these two things are what's creating the inspiration, the awareness for me to come in here and share any of this with you. So let me get to my point here and what I truly wanted to share. So when we talk about, I mentioned in one of the last recordings was about our inner fire, our inner spark, this inner infinite power that we are all connected to, that is source, God, universe. But it is also this inner connection, this inner fire that we have within us, this inner energy that we have within each and every one of us. So it's more than just, again, I feel it or connected to Reiki. Reiki is the modality that connected me to it. So it's Reiki energy, is one way you can look at it. It could be chi, it could be a variety of different names, but it's all the same source. And so when we talk about our life, we share that we have our physical health, our mental health. We've been talking about our spiritual health lately and getting more involved in what we feel spiritually aligns with us. And we need to even talk about energy, but I feel like energy is being placed in a space of still where it's like woo-woo, right? And the other piece is that it's also energy, and it's an extra, it's an add-on when we want to feel aligned and connected. It is another piece that we can kind of play with. But what I've become aware of over the last few weeks in this study of both of these things, and seeking my own inner wisdom and truth in these things that I'm sharing, is that we have an energetic health. And the fact that, to the point, literal, physical, tangible point of when your heart stops, what do we use to restart your heart? We use an AED or an electric shock, which is energy. Energy physically and literally restarts our being. So we treat energy as an extra, as an add-on, it's something I could do that I don't really need to do. And you can use it in so many different ways. Like I said, Reiki is just one modality in which you could tap into energetic health. There is access bars, there is theta healing, there is, like I said, acupuncture with chi. There is all kinds of different modalities that can get you in alignment with that energy source that have been around for hundreds of years, even before what we now know as physical medicine. There has always been this energetic health, shamanism, all of these things are working and focusing on our energetic health, but we're not talking about it in that way. So this is what's been coming through for me, is that we haven't been making this a foundational piece, but our energetic health, what literally starts our body and creates the stability for our physical, mental, and spiritual health, the foundation of all that is energy. And the fact that we are all energetic beings, the fact that if you go to science, we are all made of atoms and energy in motion. These, at the very atomic level, we are cells that are physically moving and vibrating at a frequency, at an energetic level that create us as a physical being. So it's funny that we think about our physical health as one of the foundations, that if we look at society, we have doctors, we have people taking care of our physical health. We have studies, we have science backgrounds in the physical health of things, all of which are based on the energetic health, but yet we never focus on our energetic health being that foundation. And as an energetic healer, I can tell you that all of the things energetically that you're going through, whether it's trauma, whether it's an experience, all of those things lead to a physical manifestation. But the energy is actually the foundation that creates the physical experience of why you have physical ailments, why we have physical illnesses and diseases, is all based on the scientific level of our atoms and what's being created through that energy. That's how all diseases and everything. And this is why I truly believe that we can heal ourselves, because we are not, if we do it from a preventative space, and this is the problem, is that we tend to not look at the preventative space. We wait until the physical ailment shows up and then we try to solve those symptoms versus doing the preventative work of working on our energy. Anyway, so this ties back to what I shared last time around our energetic source. And the fact that when we work with what we are passionate about, we have been told that we need to show up in the physical world, in the material experience of ourselves, that we need to show up in what Heather Ash calls our roles. So when we grow through let me explain this a little further. So that when we grow through our life, we take on a role. So whether it's like, we tend to cling to it as an identity, but when we have a job, when we have a career, we then say like, I'm a cook, I'm a chef. Those are both the same things. I'm a teacher, I'm an accountant. And we then accept that as an identity. When truly, as Heather Ash explains in her book, this is a role that we take on in the physical material world, that we solve this problem as an accountant. I help you with your finances. This is the role that we take on, but we take that on as an identity. We take that on as our purpose. We take that on as this is what we're supposed to do. Somewhere along the way, we get to this point where we're like, I'm not an accountant. It is not who I truly am. It's what I do, but it's not who I truly am. So then we go on this spiritual journey and we start coming, again, for me, and this is how it's been. So previously, I'll talk from my own experience. I have been a cook, and then I was like, this isn't what I truly am. And then it wasn't feeling aligned anymore. Plus, I was spending a lot of time outside of my house and in my home. And how can I create an income to fulfill the physical world of what I need to do? I became I worked with multiple different not businesses, but I became a program manager within a program, within an organization. And that was what I did in various different ways within cadets, within the Canadian Red Cross. Like, these are all my experiences, but I became that role. I fulfilled that role in society. But I'm still fulfilling a role. So then when I started this personal development journey of mine, where I thought it was personal development, which became a spiritual journey and an awakening, I then saw myself as this energy healer. And again, what I realized, I'm still filling a role in the fact that I am now in the, what do I want to say here? I'm enlightened. And so now I'm an enlightened being, and I'm helping people in their spiritual journey, which is the next level or ascension in our collective consciousness, is that we're currently, as you see all around us right now, starting to talk about the energy and the spiritual and the woo and bringing it out into the physical, because that's that next level of ascension of our collective consciousness that we're going through right now. Everybody's experiencing it in some way, shape, or form, and you're hearing about it all over the place. And that's just another ascension of the role that we're currently in. But we are not supposed to we are supposed to fill a role, but it's just a role. So I shared on my Facebook page the other day that I read something in here that hit me, that I'm like, we are doing it frickin' wrong. Because we're still in a role, even though I know I'm helping people in their personal life develop themselves, become more aware, expand their consciousness, to expand their spirituality. But that is still fulfilling a role that I'm supposed to play here. And we come to this moment where we're like, I'm supposed to have a purpose, and we question our purpose. And this is what shifts us from the material world to our spiritual world, is this, what is my purpose here? And we're still trying to think about it in a 3D way or a material way of fulfilling a role. And that's what we're not getting, is we're not meant to fulfill a role. When we're seeking our purpose, when our soul is asking us, and this is where I tell people all the time, my clients, it's like, when you're feeling that feeling of more, there's more out there. That is your soul seeking further awareness, further understanding, further alignment, further being seen and heard, and further purpose. But what we feel is our purpose isn't the accountant, isn't the program manager, isn't the cook, isn't the banker. It also isn't the Reiki healer. It also isn't the coach. Those are still roles, not our purpose. And then I go to I'm here to help people. That's my purpose. Nope. Sorry, that's still just a role that we play. Yes, part of me is helping people, but that's still a role that I'm physically playing in this world as I'm here in this personal physical experience. But the aha moment I had the other day from this book is it's still a role. And what I want to share is in all of what I've done in my journey, in the personal development, when I really look back in everything I've done, yes, it's helping people. And yes, it's being connected to people and all of those things. But what is the underlying energy or frequency I've been trying to bring into this world? And it's not, again, if you get to the whole like deep level of it, we are all here for our own experience, not to help others. But it's not, it's not to help the world and other people. It's actually for me. This is our purpose, is to find what we are meant to do here for us, for ourselves individually, not to help others. Yes, that's the beautiful consciousness, like flowy, we're here to help others. But we are all here to move ourselves forward and to discover something for ourselves. That's the only purpose why we're here in this physical world, to have fun with the emotions and the experience and the adventure and the journey. But the purpose we are all seeking is the true and truly the root matter of it, is the vibration and the frequency we are trying to achieve for ourselves, not for the betterment of others. So this is why we get in this fight of, but I can't do it for me. That's selfish. But that's our purpose. That's not my aha moment, but I want to share that with you because that's a shift that some of us need to make. That I can't be in my business and focus on just me because it's selfish. We are here to be selfish and focus. That's our purpose, is to be here for ourselves. Sorry. But the aha moment I want to share here is the underlying frequency of what I'm here to feel. So if I reflect back of my life, of everything I've done, the underlying frequency of what I'm trying to create is love. If I sit there and really truly contemplate what drives me, it's the shift in society of the opposite of fear. We are in so much fear in this world right now. What shakes me and hurts me to my bones is the amount of fear and scarcity and lack and limited, if I use my words correctly, this limited version of ourselves. And there is so much more that we have within us. And that is love. Because the opposite of fear, the opposite of hatred, everything is based on fear. Hatred is based on fear. And the opposite of fear is love. I read, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. Because she simply explains it in there, is that everything is either fear or love. And we are meant to experience and be here for love. It's funny, I'm in this frequency and the dog comes to visit. Too funny. Anyway, so what I want to share is every one of us are here for our own purpose, first of all. And the purpose that we are seeking to fulfill is to find the oneness within ourselves, is to find that inner frequency that we are meant to embody for ourselves. So in everything, like I showed, in everyone I look back at everything that I've done, the frequency I'm meant to embody is love, because what grinds my gears the most is the fear and the chaos that's going on in the world. And what I want to bring into the world is more love. So there is a word that you are meant to bring in. This is your purpose. This is what we've gotten wrong for so many years. We are not here to play roles, and we continue even our expansion and evolution and our shift and ascension of consciousness. We're like spiritual beings, blah, 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 blah. That's not it. It's still a role. But we are meant to find our oneness in our own frequency that we feel the most called to create in this world, to become in this world. And so, like I said, for me, it's love. It could be for you. I'm going to read some words. I'm going to give you some words. It could be peace. I have a friend of mine that we talk all the time, and she had mentioned that she just wants peace. And it's bringing peace to her environment. It's to be that frequency of peace. And it could be compassion. It could be love. It could be, I'm going to bring out some words that she puts in here because I can't, like off the top of my head, they don't come to me. But so adventure, courage, connection, inspiration, awakening. feel into the words that feel for you, I can pretty much almost guarantee that a lot of us are going to come back to love. But there's other words that may feel like in everything you've done that you want to create, that you want to bring into yourself. If you truly pay attention, there's one word that you are meant, your purpose. And when we realize that that's the word or that's the frequency, the emotion we are meant to become for ourselves, that's our truth. That's our true, when she calls it in here, she calls it our true work. That's what we are meant to bring into this world. That's our purpose. But what I want to share with you, that's your inner fire. And when you resonate from that in every aspect of your life. So she talks about even the waitress. The waitress, when she wants to bring in compassion, her word is compassion for that waitress. So it doesn't matter if you're being a waitress, if you're in a role or a job of being a waitress. That is a purpose, because even if you bring compassion in your job, that's why we get so caught up in the role. The role isn't the purpose you're here. The feeling that you bring in any purpose, in any role, is what you are meant to do, is your true work, is what you are meant to be here for. But we look beyond it, thinking that it's not enough. Love can't be my purpose because love doesn't pay the bills. The bills don't matter. I had a healing once. I'm like vibrating. Like, again, I'm speaking for my truth and love. So this is my purpose. Even having this conversation and inspiring you in a way, or sharing, see, and the dog shows up because I'm vibrating from the frequency of my greatest expression right now in this conversation. So my dog's sitting here on my lap because he can feel it. They're very energetic beings. Just a minute. So what I want to share, and I'm going to wrap this up so I can attend to him, but the purpose of what I'm sharing over these last few videos is that when we tap into that purpose, like right now, I am feeling so inspired and so energized. I'm tapping into the source right now as I speak. This energetic source, infinite source. Like I could literally go run a mile right now from what I've shared because of I'm tapping into that inner fire within me, that inner purpose, that inner energy that I'm talking about, our life force. I'm tapping into it by expressing it right now. So I am vibrating at a much higher level than even when I started this conversation because I'm expressing my fullest expression of myself. This is what we're meant to do. This is what I mean by tapping into that inner fire, that infinite source. It creates an energy that sleep, our physical ability, our mental ability can then be sustained by this source, this purpose that we are meant to tap into. And I can express this in so many different ways. I can now use this energy in anything else. I could dance, but you can also tap into this energy in your fullest expression. And your expression may not be mine's through talk and through conversation. Your expression of your love, your compassion could be as a waitress, could be as an artist. We are all artists in creating our life. We are all creators. It's the life that we are creating that is the canvas, not our job, not our roles, not the money that we make. Because like I said, the healing that I had a healing about a year and a half ago, probably. And when I finished that healing, I literally sat there in tears because we get so caught up in the money aspect and what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it that we don't even realize that money doesn't matter. None of that matters. None of this 3D role that we're playing matters. We are meant to just be an expression, the greatest expression of ourselves. That's all we're meant to do. That's where our purpose is, to find this inner spark and express it in whatever way feels good for us. So follow the good feeling. I'm going to wrap it up here, but we're going to continue this conversation because there's yet another topic that I want to talk about that's inspired through these cards. Something else I pulled the other day was like, oh yeah, this is what we need to express. But I needed to express this first. This is the aha moment I was talking about, that we are doing it wrong. that it's not about the roles that we play. It's about who and how we're supposed to, who we are becoming individually and our own selfishness of it. And our greatest expression of that frequency that we are meant to be, which is, for me, love. And if there's something else for you, and I have an opportunity where if you connect with me, if any of this resonates for you and you want to talk about it further, I offer an opportunity to have these conversations to figure out what that is for you. It's called an inner alignment session. And yeah, we can share that. And if you look at any of my links, you can book an inner alignment session with me and we could talk about what this looks like for you. What's that frequency? What's that word? What are you supposed to be vibrating at? That's our purpose. So let me help you find it, because it is within you and it's not the role that you're playing. You already have it within you. I'm just here to reflect it for you. So that's why I call it an inner attunement session, because we are going within you to find it, not what I think you're meant to be. It's to find it, help you find it within you, but I get to be that mirror for you and hold it for you. Anyway, more to come. Thank you for listening in. I appreciate you. Love you all, because that's my greatest expression is love. And I will continue to express and to share. And there are some really cool things coming up right now, so keep an eye out. I'm being called to express this in a beautiful way, and I can't wait. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Love you lots. Take care.